Have you ever met a stranger and suddenly felt as if you had known them before? Even though it was your first time crossing paths, there was something about their energy, something deeply familiar, as if the two of you once shared a profound connection in another time. You couldn't quite explain it, but deep in your heart, your intuition whispered that the moment was significant. This is what we often call déjà vu, an experience that many believe to be a subtle echo from a past life, resonating gently through the unseen corridors of consciousness. What's even more mysterious is that déjà vu doesn't just occur with people. Sometimes you arrive at a completely unfamiliar place, and yet it feels like you've been there before. Or you find yourself in a specific situation, overwhelmed by the sensation that you've already lived that moment. Somehow, somewhere. While modern science usually explains déjà vu as a glitch in the brain's memory system, philosophers and spiritual teachers offer a very different perspective. They believe in the existence of the soul, an immortal essence that journeys through many lifetimes, learning, evolving, and ultimately seeking liberation. Today, we're going to take a deeper look into the concept of reincarnation, the idea that each soul is reborn through multiple lifetimes, gathering experiences, learning essential lessons, and moving closer to spiritual awakening. You'll discover how to begin unlocking memories from your past lives, how to nurture spiritual clarity, and how to use these insights not only to enrich your current life, but also to guide your soul in its future journeys. And most importantly, by the end of this video, I'll share with you a simple yet powerful 3-step meditation technique that helps you connect with your deep subconscious, the space where past life memories are stored. This practice is not just a tool to help you uncover the mysteries of your previous incarnations, but also a path to inner peace, deeper self-understanding, and a more meaningful life. So before we begin this spiritual journey, let us reflect on a fundamental question. What makes you different from every other living creature on this planet? What is it that drives us humans, among countless forms of life, to seek meaning, to question the origin of our soul, and to search for our destiny? What truly sets humans apart from all other species is our ability to think, to reflect, and more importantly, to evolve consciously. Thanks to this sacred gift, we are not merely surviving, we are capable of growing, of striving toward our higher self, the aspect of our soul that exists beyond the visible material world. But if we do not reflect inwardly, if we do not learn from our experiences or awaken the deeper awareness that lies within us, we remain stuck at the most basic level of existence, the level of animal instinct. And sadly, how many of us are truly walking the path of conscious evolution? Very few. We may have heard stories of enlightened masters, those who have reached the depths of spiritual awakening, but in everyday life, how many of us have truly encountered such beings? The reason is not the absence of enlightenment, it is our own forgetfulness. We have forgotten our higher purpose. We have strayed from our dharma, the sacred path each soul is meant to walk. Instead of living with awareness, modern humans are often controlled by an ancient neurological system, a reptilian brain that governs behavior based on survival instincts. Fear, greed, competition, deception, and a constant hunger that is never truly satisfied. We rush forward, constantly striving, competing, conquering, often at the expense of others' happiness and our own. We forget that we are not soulless survival machines, nor are we creatures governed entirely by instinct. Human beings have been blessed with a superior gift, spiritual intelligence, and yet we squander it, living in ignorance, sleepwalking through life. Animals live according to nature's programming. Their lives revolve around survival and reproduction. It's a simple, elegant system designed by nature to fulfill its purpose. But humans are different. We've been given the ability to rise above instinct. We can choose not to be ruled by fear. We can choose to sacrifice the ego in service of something greater. Only when you truly realize, I am not just fear, I am not just this small ego, only then does the journey of unlocking your extraordinary potential truly begin. Every person, every creature, every phenomenon in this vast universe exists for a reason. Nothing is random. There's a divine intelligence, a force far beyond our comprehension, crafting this magnificent cosmic play. And you, though just a tiny part of this immense universe, still fill a space that no one else can. Your journey, whether full of struggles or light, is an essential note in this sacred symphony. It is time to ask yourself, am I truly living up to my highest potential? So have you ever really asked yourself, what is the higher purpose of my life? Could it be that everything you're chasing, money, success, recognition, relationships, is only a small piece of the bigger picture of your existence? Yes, they are meaningful experiences in this physical world, but there is another dimension, deeper and more enduring, the path of spiritual evolution, a journey your soul has been walking long before you were ever born into this life. You are not this body. You are a soul, an eternal being temporarily clothed in flesh, playing a role in the great mysterious drama of the universe. Your body is a tool, a temporary vehicle, allowing you to interact with the material world. But your soul, your essence, transcends all limits of time, space, and the physical form. There are countless dimensions coexisting at once, and your soul has journeyed through many of them. Each lifetime is a new chapter, a unique adventure filled with its own lessons. Whether joyful or painful, those experiences are never meaningless. They are precious gems your soul has gathered and stored deep within its inner wisdom. That is your true treasure, the only thing you carry with you when you leave this world and move into the next realm. Your houses, your status, your possessions, they all stay behind. But the lessons you've learned, the growth of your soul, that is the only baggage you truly own in your eternal journey. So, is there anything more important than uncovering the wisdom encoded in the fabric of your being? Is there any action more meaningful than reconnecting with the deepest part of yourself, the part that holds the answers to life's biggest questions? Certainly not. Past life memories are not just fragments of some distant past. They are essential sources of knowledge that can radically shift the way you live in the present. When you begin to understand why certain challenges appear in your life, why specific relationships feel deeply karmic, or why you're drawn to or afraid of particular people, places, or situations, you start to unravel your personal karmic map. And with that awareness, you can better prepare yourself for spiritual awakening, the highest phase in the evolution of your soul. Which leads us to a profound question, one often asked by those skeptical of reincarnation. If past life memories are so important, why can't most of us remember them? So if past life memories are truly so important, why can't we remember any of them? Why must we undergo deep hypnosis or long, silent, focused meditation sessions just to access what are believed to be essential truths for our spiritual growth? The answer is both simple and deeply compassionate. We don't need to remember every vivid detail of the past. What truly matters is the lesson, not the memory. The lesson is imprinted in the soul, while the memories, the images, the sounds, the emotions, are mercifully veiled. Imagine if your conscious mind could recall every moment from dozens or even hundreds past lives, the mistakes you made, the harm you caused others, or the injustices you suffered, perhaps even cruel, unspeakable ones. Could you continue to live as a functioning human being in your current life while being torn apart by the emotional weight of all those past experiences? Chances are you would be paralyzed by guilt, anxiety, fear, or overwhelming sorrow, so much so that the present moment would feel unreachable. As author Hans Wilhelm once said, "It is precisely because of the infinite mercy of universal consciousness that we are intentionally protected from those memories. We are given the chance to start anew, not by erasing the past, but by carrying its core lessons as subconscious seeds for growth and evolution." Additionally, when the soul incarnates, when you enter the realm of time and physical space, your ability to perceive and connect with higher dimensions becomes greatly limited. Almost every visionary scientist and philosopher agrees. Time is not linear. In fact, it may not even be real in the way we understand it. And yet, within the physical reality of this planet, we must operate within a linear sense of time. Our society, our work, our communication, our schedules, our relationships, all function within a framework of before and after. You may occasionally catch a glimpse of the timeless. You may feel the dissolution of space in a deep meditative state or an out-of-body experience. But to live a grounded life in a physical body, you need structure. And time, though it may be an illusion, is still a necessary framework for that experience. So the reason you don't remember your past lives isn't because something has been taken from you. It's because you're being protected. Your soul knows exactly what it's doing, and everything you need for your awakening has always been within you, waiting to be unlocked. Just as past life memories are veiled, there are many profound truths in the universe that we simply cannot comprehend. Not because they don't exist, but because the limited human mind is not yet equipped to grasp them. Just as a child cannot yet understand the philosophy of adults, we, inhabiting these physical bodies, are unable to access the full spectrum of wisdom our soul has accumulated across countless lifetimes. That is why the veil of forgetfulness that separates us from our past lives is not a flaw, not a mistake, but a deliberate design, a compassionate architecture of universal intelligence. It exists so we can enter this life fully, free to learn, free to choose, and most importantly, free to grow from the present moment, rather than be imprisoned by the shadows or glories of the past. However, that doesn't mean the lessons of past lives are lost. Quite the opposite. They are always there, resting in the deep layers of your subconscious, waiting for the right time to surface. There are many paths to access this ancient treasure of wisdom, from meditation and introspection to more powerful methods like past life regression. And now, we will explore one of those methods. In the field of regression therapy, the name Dr. Brian Weiss shines as a pioneer. A renowned psychiatrist, he was once a complete skeptic of reincarnation. But his doubts were profoundly shaken during a fateful hypnotherapy session with a patient named Catherine. In a deeply regressed state, Catherine not only recounted vivid details from her past lives, she also revealed highly specific information, stunningly accurate, about Dr. Weiss's own family. Details she had no way of knowing beforehand. That single event completely transformed Dr. Weiss's perception of reality. In his groundbreaking book, Many Lives, Many Masters, he recounts this experience and arrives at a profound realization. We are not merely human beings living a single life. We are eternal souls, journeying through many lifetimes and dimensions with one sacred purpose: to learn and evolve. Each soul, before incarnating, chooses a specific experience in the physical world. It is never random. It is always chosen for the lessons the soul needs in order to grow. You are not born into your current life by chance. There is a reason. And when you begin to ask the deeper questions, when you start turning inward and asking, what am I meant to learn from this life? That is the moment you awaken the wisdom that has been sleeping for centuries. When a soul has completed the lessons of a particular life, it departs from the physical body, an event we, with our limited human perspective, call death. But death is not the end. In a universe where everything is energy, the soul is simply a pure form of consciousness, neither born nor destroyed. It is not bound by time or space. It simply transitions from one form to another, from one experience to the next, like dewdrops traveling through sunlight, gathering wisdom and awakening awareness. The karmic record of a soul is an energetic imprint that holds everything the soul has ever done, felt, or caused across its many lifetimes. If a soul has inflicted harm upon another, the consequences may not necessarily arise in the same lifetime. But karma, as a subtle law of the universe, always finds a way to return. Not as punishment, but as teaching. And when the soul is ready, it will choose to reincarnate into a circumstance that mirrors that unresolved lesson, so it can bring closure, restore balance, and grow. Dr. Brian Weiss once shared that soul groups, clusters of souls with deep karmic connections, tend to reincarnate together across multiple lifetimes. They take on different roles: parents, children, lovers, best friends, even enemies. Each role is carefully chosen and orchestrated with purpose, so that every soul can face the exact challenges needed for growth and evolution. Fascinatingly, renowned hypnotherapist and psychologist Dr. Michael Newton made similar discoveries in his groundbreaking work. In his book Journey of Souls, he documents the hypnotic regressions of hundreds of clients who accessed memories not of past lives, but of the in-between, the space between incarnations. When clients described suffering caused by family members or loved ones, Dr. Newton didn't ask, "Why did that person treat you so badly?" Instead, he asked, "If you hadn't gone through that experience, what lesson would your soul have missed?" That question changes everything. It may take time to find the answer, but it always lies somewhere within the deeper layers of consciousness. Nothing happens by accident. We are born among specific people, in specific circumstances, because our souls agreed to that plan before entering the physical realm. Sometimes, those who hurt you the most may be the ones who love you the most, at a higher, spiritual level, because they agreed to play the role of the villain to help you grow. If you are living with someone who constantly tests your patience, your compassion, or your self-worth, perhaps the lesson lies within that very relationship. Sometimes, healing doesn't begin by running away. It begins with awareness. When you pause and ask, "What are we here to learn from each other?" you open the door to the deepest kind of transformation for both souls. And when you look deeply enough, you begin to see the truth. The original nature of every soul is pure divine light. That is where we all come from, and that is where we will all return. Every soul, whether playing the role of victim or villain in this lifetime, is on the same journey, the journey of returning to the self. When a soul acts out of alignment with divine light, when it strays from God, from its pure original essence, it begins to create layers that block the light. Each unkind action, each selfish thought, every extreme attachment to the material world adds another veil, like mist gathering around the flame of the spiritual heart. The more veils there are, the harder it becomes for the soul to reconnect with its source. And to dissolve these veils, the soul needs time, experience, and above all, conscious awakening. This is why many souls must reincarnate over and over again, not as punishment, but as a sacred process of purification, healing, and unlearning the distortions embedded across lifetimes. Whether intentional or unconscious, the soul must walk through challenges in order to rediscover its light. In Hinduism and Buddhism, this cycle is called samsara, the endless wheel of birth, death, and rebirth. The Buddha referred to it as dukkha, suffering, because as long as the soul remains trapped in this loop, it cannot reach its ultimate goal, moksha, liberation from the cycle and reunion with the divine. Suffering does not come from the external world. It arises from craving, attachment, and misidentification with the false self. We believe we are the body, the emotions, the status, the past, but those are only outer shells. Beneath all of it lies a pure soul longing to return home. One of the most powerful tools to both access past life wisdom and break the cycle of suffering is daily meditation. Meditation is not an escape from the world, it is a return to your inner world, a chance to listen to the quiet voice of your soul. 3-step meditation to reconnect with your soul. Step 1. Create sacred space. Find a quiet and peaceful place where you won't be disturbed. Sit with your spine straight, shoulders relaxed, and chest open. This posture helps energy flow more freely and supports your concentration throughout the practice. Step 2. Breathe with awareness. Take a deep conscious breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and then slowly exhale. With each inhale, imagine drawing healing frequencies into your body: love, peace, joy, and light. With each exhale, visualize releasing all negativity, anxiety, anger, tension, and fear. Repeat this for several cycles, allowing your body and mind to gently relax. Step 3. Visualize the divine light. Gently close your eyes. Now, imagine a golden mist of pure light descending from above, filling your entire being, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. This light represents the energy of the divine. As you breathe in, feel it filling you with radiance. As you breathe out, feel all darkness dissolving. Gradually, your body will feel lighter. Your mind will become still. Heavy emotions will begin to melt away, making room for inner peace and a silent connection with God, not through words or forms, but as a sacred feeling of homecoming. To close the session, silently affirm in your mind, "I am light, I am soul, I am one with eternal wisdom." Practice this daily, and you will begin to feel the shift, not just in how you live, but in how you exist. Once you've reached a deeper state of awareness through your breath, it's time to enter the second stage, a powerful turning point in your meditation journey, unlocking access to the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are the energetic archives of your soul, a sacred space that holds every experience, every thought, every action, every lesson, and every potential from countless lifetimes you've lived. It is the divine library of consciousness, containing all the information you need to grow, to heal, and to thrive, both spiritually and physically. Accessing this realm not only helps you understand yourself more deeply, but also brings insights that can profoundly shift the way you live, love, and make choices in this life. Now, hold a clear intention in your mind. You are here to download wisdom from a higher dimension of consciousness. With that purpose anchored, direct your focus entirely toward your third eye, the spiritual gateway to higher realms. Located at the center of your forehead, between your eyebrows, the third eye is the seat of inner vision. As you inhale, visualize a stream of divine light beaming directly into this point, illuminating it, energizing it, activating it. The more you focus, the more spiritual light will flow through you. But remember, don't expect your third eye to open fully during your first session. Like a muscle at the gym, it requires time, discipline, and trust. That's why all great spiritual masters throughout history have encouraged daily meditation practice. Without consistency, you cannot reach the depth of awakening your soul is yearning for. Step 3. Open the heart to receive divine love. After a few minutes of connecting with your third eye, gently transition to the final step, the most profound of all, opening your heart to receive love, light, and blessings from the infinite intelligence. Love is everything. This universe vibrates on the frequency of love. It is the pulse of the divine, the primal current from which all life emerges. If you truly seek liberation from karma, from pain, and from the cycle of difficult reincarnations, then love is the energy you must embrace. Now shift your full attention to the center of your chest, your heart chakra. Breathe in deeply, just as you did before with the third eye. As you exhale, visualize your heart blooming like a radiant lotus in the morning sun. And within this sacred light, begin to send forgiveness to all people, to all things. Forgive yourself. Forgive your past. Forgive those who once hurt you. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means understanding that all souls are learning, all souls have the right to make mistakes, and all souls are walking their own path of evolution. When you stop holding on to resentment, you create the space for healing to flow in, and that, perhaps, is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Now conclude with one final act, a simple yet profoundly powerful offering. Send love to every person you know, regardless of who they are or what they've done. See them as souls, just like you, struggling to understand, to rise, and to return to the light. As you do this, you may feel a gentle warmth spreading across your heart center, as if your heart is expanding, glowing with light, filled with positivity, and overflowing with pure, unconditional love. And in that moment, you'll understand, this is the feeling your soul has been seeking all along. At the end of your meditation, when your mind is still and your heart is full, take a brief moment to plant a seed of love deep within your mind and soul, a seed of transformation, a seed of awakening, a seed of inner light. Practice this meditation every day, consistently, as a sacred promise to yourself. And as meditation becomes a natural rhythm in your life, you'll begin to sense a quiet, beautiful shift within. Each of the 3 phases, breath connection, third eye activation, and heart expansion, will gradually come alive, becoming more vivid, more powerful, more radiant. And then, as a gentle reward from the universe, the secrets of your past lives will begin to unfold, not through mystical voices or dramatic visions, but through signs, through synchronicities, through chance meetings that feel anything but random. You'll begin to feel surrounded by a higher presence, as though someone, something, is gently guiding you, comforting you, reminding you that you have never been alone on this journey. This is the sign that you are coming closer to your true self, your divine self beyond fear, beyond the limited desires of the human condition, the eternal soul within you, finally remembered. Once you've become familiar with daily meditation, you may begin to consciously communicate with ascended masters, spiritual guides, or higher soul beings. At the end of each session, ask clear, heartfelt questions. The answers will come, not always in the way you expect or hell, but always in the way you need, through dreams, through repeating signs, through a quiet but certain inner knowing. Exploring past lives is not about satisfying curiosity. It is a powerful tool to bridge spiritual wisdom with your current reality, so you can make better choices, live more authentically, love more deeply, and become the highest version of yourself. And if you never embark on this journey, if you let the opportunity to explore your soul's sacred timeline pass you by, you may be missing something that could change your life forever. Have you ever had a mysterious experience that made you believe you've lived before? A strange place that felt familiar? A stranger who made your heart stir as if you'd known them in another lifetime? Share your mystical story in the comments below, because your experience may just awaken someone else who is still searching for themselves. And until next time, keep learning, keep meditating, keep evolving, because your soul deserves it.